This episode contains adult themes and adult language. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bold and Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Amanda, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Miss Chelsea.
Hey, B&B fans, hey!
Hi, guys. This episode was actually madness. Chelsea and I decided to record on Saturday, and just so you know, because I take full responsibility, we were drinking. So we were laughing, we were having fun, and we did not press record. So for literally 3 hours, we were recording, air quotes, and we never realized that we weren't actually recording. I didn't even realize it until Monday when I went to edit. Because we recorded on Saturday, but we got tired and couldn't finish it, and we finished the rest on Monday. And I had a complete panic attack, a complete meltdown. I text Chelsea, and I was like, oh my God, Chelsea, I need you to go on Skype right now, and I need you to tell me how many videos you see on Saturday. She comes back. And she's like, uh-oh, we messed up. And I was like, no. And we had a bunch of stuff to tell you. We had a long intro. But that's okay. We're going to redo it this week. I realized that Steffi would be furious at us for using alcohol as an excuse. I know it's not an excuse. I'm so sorry, guys. I know it's not an excuse. So the main things that I want to let you know is, as you're listening, we are referring to the recording that we had already done. Like, we're referring to what we had already recorded. And since that doesn't exist, I just want to let you know that it may sound a little funny. The last thing is, at the very end, we talk about businesses and shouting out your businesses. We had talked about this in the intro, so I'll just tell you really quickly. If you own a business, if your friend owns a business, if your family owns a business, send us your info and we'll shout you out. And what's super cool is I realized that I never played y'all the whole KKL message that she sent me. How cool is it that our very first business shout out is KKL's business, Benhart? Make sure you go check it out, guys, because the stuff they have is absolutely gorgeous. And KKL also has a Kafgan line, which is amazing. Tammy has some, of course. Okay, guys, I think that's everything. So sorry that we messed up. I guess March Madness is the real deal. So after I play KKL's message, it's going to go right in to Friday the 11th. And then we cover Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And the other episodes were preempted. Thank you for your patience. And we love you guys. Enough with the chit chat. On to the recap. So before I play KKL's message, I just want to add one little thing in case you're new to the podcast. I messaged the Benhart store thinking I was just going to talk to a manager. And I just wanted to see if it would be okay if I shouted them out on the podcast just to help KKL out because you guys know I love her. And this is the message that I got in return. And I was so shocked. I was freaking out. Sorry for the sound quality. It's not the greatest.
Hi, Amanda. This is Kelly. What a nice message. That would be lovely. Of course, that would be helpful to maybe bring some new shoppers to our store. Definitely tell them to follow at Benhart USA and, watch our lives, and we can show them around the store virtually, either over FaceTime, and we can help them shop. It's very personal here. So thank you. That is so, so, so sweet of you.
Friday, March 11th.
The show opens at Brooks, and we're still there, guys. We're still there. Okay? We're still in the conversation with Brooke and Ridge, which is so annoying.
Yeah, it's Brooke, blah, blah, so self-sabotaging, blah, blah. I don't know, it was just a lot, because I know she was, taking blame, but then you could tell, Ridge wanted to be begged, so it was just awkward and weird.
I feel bad for her. I just don't like any of this. She has, no self-esteem now, and she just tells him she's never going to forgive herself, and she's going to let him go. She thinks it's best if she lets him go.
Yeah.
And he leaves, and she's devastated.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at Steffi's house, Steffi and Thomas are talking, and Steffi's getting mad because she thinks Thomas is now feeling some kind of way for Brooke. He's trying to take up for her. And
yeah.
She does not like it.
Thomas is haunted right now, so he keeps having flashes of him and Sheila's conversations. And so when Steffi rolls in, hot and heavy, guns blazing, ha ha ha, this is what you get, Brooke, he's kind of she's going through a hard time, don't forget. But that's just because he's haunted. Because normally he would be saying what Steffi's saying. So she's her spidey senses are tingling, wait a minute, what changed?
Right. And she got so mad because he said, you know what, just stop picking on Brooke, because we don't know exactly what happened. And Steffi, I thought her head was gonna spin on The Exorcist.
Right.
She looked at him, and the look she gave him was whoa, it scared me.
Right. She was like, excuse me, sir?
Yeah, she was not having it.
So Steffi and Thomas he's getting the evil squint eyes, and he's like, oh, yeah. I'm haunted. And Taylor comes home. Yay! Hi, guys. Oh, my goodness. Had such a good day at work. Oh, my goodness. Just spent the last hour talking crap about Brooke. Woo!
Yeah.
And Steffi is like, have my day. Oh, yeah. Well, because finally he leaves Brooks. Finally, thank goodness. Because he tells Brooke, he's like, I'm just going to have someone else come and pick up my stuff. I can't do this. I got to go. So he books it. So, yeah, then they're all one big happy family again, standing in the living room. Steffi starts laying it on.
Oh, you need to be with Mom.
And Ridge is just like, yeah, okay, I'm here. Chill out. And then Thomas is like, phone call, gotta go. Business, fashion, business.
Yeah. And Ridge says something like, oh my God, the situation with Brooke just keeps getting more and more upsetting. And Steffi's smiling almost. It's so rude.
Yeah, so Taylor instantly goes into sympathy mode.
So then Ridge and Taylor end up going upstairs.
Oh.
And they start kissing. I mean, let's just be real. He says, Taylor, she's going to give me a divorce. Brooke's going to give me a divorce. And then they're all over each other.
Yeah, she pushes him off, but yeah.
I'm going to give kudos to Krista Allen because she was clearly, Taylor was clearly conflicted. When you have that moment where you're you really want to do something, but in the back of your mind, you shouldn't do it. in the back of Taylor's mind, I know she's thinking, this never works out. He always wants Brooke. Like, he always goes back to Brooke. What am I doing? But she wants him so bad, you know?
Yeah.
You can see the conflict.
Because it's gross. Like, he's literally in one breath talking about, like, I'm sad about Brooke. And then he just looks at Taylor and he's like, blah, 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 I'll make out with your face. Like, I want someone to make out with my face because when they look at me, they're like, I'm all they're thinking about. Not that they're trying to repress feelings that are making them not happy.
Right. Yeah, totally. I totally agree. Because
it's like when his emotions get too much, when he starts thinking about Brooke too much and it just gets too heavy on him, he's like, I'm going to distract myself by making out with you. That's what it is.
Yeah,
and that's
Ridge
gross.
is ridiculous. He's ridiculous. Oh, that's what I forgot to say. I just remembered why I was so mad at Ridge. I'm re-mad at Ridge again. Okay. He just sold Brooke. You're the one. I wanted it to be you. I always wanted it to be you. Blah, blah, blah. I'm so in love with you. I always love you, right? Then he drove from Brooke's house to Malibu, and in that little bit of time, he runs in there and starts making out with Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so sad and hurt, right?
Yep. Please.
All right, now, this is controversial. We're going to go to Forrester Creations, and I need to know what you guys thought about Quinn's outfit with the glasses, because it's Quinn and Cindy. She had on a white. It was white, and it had a really high collar.
It looked like it was on backwards, but then it was also backless. It had high, weird, pointy shoulders. It gave off kind of Asian-y vibes.
Yeah, because it had black, vines and flowers going down each side.
And then she had, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, 70s style wireframe glasses that were, yellowish tinted. I don't know. And then just the way her hair was, it was, a slick, tight, but low pony. And then the hair was, curled like crazy fluff. And she just looked wild.
It was a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. She's gorgeous. So there's that. But yeah, it's not my style. I'm going to say that much. I would not wear that.
No.
So this is an awkward conversation because to be honest, she's kind of just, when you're nosy, because I'm nosy, you kind of just ask people questions to try to make conversation and get the dirt. So she asked him, whatever happened to that engagement ring that I made for you? And I was like, oh, you're opening a can, girl.
Yeah, they're not friends. They're not buddies. What do you think happened? Have you been invited to a wedding lately, Quinn? No.
Right.
So is Zende still living in your house? Yeah. So what do you think happened? It didn't happen. I don't know. The conversation seems super forced, but Quinn's got to keep her SAG card valid, so give her a scene, I guess.
And she's nosy. I mean, you live in my house. I want to know your business. So
ask him at home. Why? I don't know. It was weird, but Zende just opens up like a little flower in springtime. He was just like, I don't know. I love her, but she wanted to take a break, but Grace says don't give up. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I feel so bad for him because you're right. He even tells her that Grace said Paris would say yes. And I'm like, oh, this is so sad.
And I didn't even think about it at the time, but I'm thinking about it right now. He's talking about a girl who's having an affair with a guy that Quinn was having an affair with.
Right.
I didn't even think of like that connection part. Like he's talking about how he wants to marry this girl, but this girl's being weird and she's being weird because of the guy that Quinn used to sleep with.
Right. That's, yeah.
But neither of them know that. So I guess it's a completely normal conversation.
Right. Yeah, it is weird. If they only knew. If they only knew.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go to Carter's loft. And Paris is in shock because Carter and Grace, right? Neither one of them bothered to let her in on the loop. So she doesn't even know that Grace has talked to Carter and threatened him.
She doesn't know that, but like the way Grace is yelling, it's like she's kind of not acknowledging, yet every now and then would acknowledge Carter when she's like freaking out. But like the way she was talking, she wasn't insinuating that they've already had a conversation about it.
Right.
So,
and you know what? Grace, she was not having it. She said, "How dare you do this? What about Zende?"
Oh. See, and this is where I'm talking about, okay, she tells him no morals ass having Carter. I was
right?
like, dang. But this is where I'm talking about, like this whole time when she's talking to him, and even when she mentions like not having morals, she's talking about the Zende aspect. She's not talking about the Zoe factor. And that's where I'm like, dude, like this, you like, why are you not saying both points?
That's
like, why are you not looking at Paris right now and being like, I cannot believe you would be doing this to your sister?
Yeah, I would definitely use the Zoe thing for sure.
So it's kind of weird to me that they're not. But the show has a way of not mentioning people and how they would feel about things if they're not actually like present in the show.
Okay.
They can't bring up Zoe too much because she's around.
Not there.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, Grace literally like went to the library, got the Carter book again. This is the second time, and just started reading him. She's like, "You have no morals, okay? You're a backstabber because you sit there and claim that you're Zende's friend." And Carter's like, "With all due respect." Grace straight up is like, "You don't talk. You do not speak." I was like, "Oh." And then, of course, just like any defiant young lady, she tells her mom, "I'm in love." Yeah. "And he loves me." And then she takes Carter's hand.
You know what this reminds me of? Okay, so I've been going down like YouTube rabbit hole of like gypsy weddings. Don't ask me why. It popped up in my feed and I've been gobbling it up. But that's so what it reminds me of, because the way that they talk, it's like so cheesy, because you ain't gonna marry him. You ain't marrying no Gorgia. I love him. I
know. And there's dresses.
Oh, the dresses. Oh,
the tool is like out of hand on those dresses.
Yeah, the Swarovski crystals. Beautiful. Beautiful. But yeah, anyways, back to our other.
That's how Friday ended.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Bye-bye, Friday. All right, guys. Scene of the week. Scene of the week. Scene of the week. Ooh. The week was a blur.
I already forgot what the week happened.
Nothing. That's why. Well, obviously, we're not giving it to Brooke and Ridge's like 3-day conversation.
No, because I'm mad at Ridge.
We're not giving it to Thomas being haunted.
No, because I'm mad at Thomas.
We're not giving it to Steffi's little rants.
No, because I'm mad at Steffi.
No, we're not giving it to Sheila for being creepy.
Okay, and I like Sheila though, but I'm still mad at her.
And we're not giving it to Taylor for being a sucker. So
I think we should give it to Grace.
Yeah, Miss Grace. She was like, you know what? I'm taking this into my own hands. I'm going to go knock on that door right now. Young lady, you are coming home. cover your titties, and let's go. Like,
she was not having it. I can't wait to watch it because I haven't watched it for Monday. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
guys, we had to record 2 different days.
Yeah.
So now it's Monday already. But that's okay. We're doing what we can do.
All right. And speaking of Monday, here we go. Monday, March 14th.
The show opens at Steffi's, and Taylor's backing away from Ridge. I can't do it. We just can't do it. We can't do it because you're going through too much stuff, and I don't want to get hurt. And then they kiss again.
Yeah.
And guess what? Then they fall onto the bed together.
Oh.
But
this was so weird. Taylor is the most flexible person on so many levels right now. Like, she's bent, her legs are crossed, but then she's bent over forward, so her back is like a full rainbow. And then Ridge is sitting there talking about Brooke and being sad and whatever, and she's being all comforting. I'm like, man, she is so flexible. Like,
that's so funny.
And then to keep her like baby doll little girl voice while being in that weird bent position is like, wow, lady.
Yeah, good job. Talented.
Ab strength.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because if I bend over to tie my shoe, I'm like, oh, sound like an 80-year-old man.
I know. Me too. Well, Taylor says that she misses Ridge's company and that she never stopped loving him. And I completely, I buy it. Like, I believe that is true. This is why it's infuriating, because Ridge knows that she has feelings for him. So he's using her. And then when he's over it and he wants Brooke back, he's just going to drop her. That's what he does.
Yeah. I mean, if she wasn't in love with him, that'd be really weird to be doing all this.
True. Yeah, but her kids are like basically putting a gun to her head.
Yeah,
Jeez.
right.
Every time, that's all Steffi talks to her about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bet you she's so happy to go to work. She's like, dang, I get a break for a minute.
Yeah. So Brooke is at her house, and she's haunted, and she's staring at pictures of her and Ridge, and slowly walking around the room, and just being haunted. And Hope busts in and just is already like, why are you sad? You didn't give up on Ridge, right? You still have time. You still have time. You can still do it. And she's like, hit the brakes, girl. I let Ridge go.
And I was like, you did what? She had that reaction like Liam too. She's like, you did what?
Yeah, she like full WTF. What?
Yeah. She's like, this is not like you, Mom. Like, you fight for what you want. You don't just give up. You don't just hand him to Taylor.
Yeah, she went full Pikachu. Like, yeah.
Oh, I can't take Brooke talking about herself like this. All I ever bring him is disappointment.
And neither could Hope. Because Hope cuts her off like I just did to you. I'm sorry, love you. And is like, okay. I don't like this whole martyr act you've got going on right now. And she like shakes her hands. And I was like, girl, I was thinking the same thing. I just could not think of the word martyr. That's what she's been doing.
That is what she's doing. You're right.
Yeah. But Hope calls her on it like, this whole martyr act, yeah, no, it needs to stop. And Brooke just fully breaks down.
Like, she's already having second thoughts, I think, about letting Ridge go. And Hope is like telling her, what the heck? Like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing?
Yeah,
and you know what? They mentioned, all right, Stephanie. When you started watching the show, Stephanie was already passed away, right? Steffi was already gone.
Yeah.
Stephanie, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it was recent.
Okay. She is coming back. Like, she was on, this Friday, she's going to be on Bold Live, the show that they do.
Mm-hmm.
The Bold does. And anyway, she's coming back for the anniversary.
What? I thought she died in real life, and that's why her character died.
No, she lives in, the last I read, she lives in Australia with her grandkids. Like,
what
around
the balls? I thought she, like, really died.
No. The actress didn't.
I so thought that this whole time.
That's hilarious.
I've been RIP-ing this lady. Oh, my goodness.
Well,
I wondered why they never did, like, a thing, like, at the end of the episode, like, oh, it's been 2 years since Stephanie passed. Like, I wondered, but I was like, oh, they just don't want to talk about it. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I thought that.
That's too funny. But I was going to tell you that, you know how they always, like, throw in things that are clues? Brooke said when she was talking to Hope, that's why Stephanie called me the slut from the valley. Stephanie always wanted Ridge to be happy. And I was like, okay, so they're now they're mentioning Stephanie.
Oh.
So that's always a clue when they do that, right?
Yeah.
And guess who else is coming back?
Thorne.
Yes. You know I like Thorne. You do remember Thorne, though.
Yes, I know Thorne. I got Thorne because I was there during when the shoe girl, when Steffi killed the shoe girl.
Oh, okay.
And that was his daughter. What was her name?
Allie.
Allie. I knew it was
I always really liked Thorne because I never understood. He's like the underdog. And they always treated him like he's not as good as Ridge. They always put him in the basement and stuff. And here's the thing. He is literally the blood son of Stephanie, the old lady, and Eric. Like, he's legit Eric's son. But
yeah,
Eric always, and Stephanie, always treated Thorne better. I mean, Ridge better. I don't know why.
Yeah, I remember that even from the vintage episodes.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
So Hope almost has Brooke talked into not giving up, right? Almost. Now we're going to head to Forrester. Thomas is trying to work fashion. But he's, as Chelsea says, super haunted. So he's having a hard time concentrating because he keeps thinking about all the stuff that Sheila told him.
And Steffi busts in.
Oh, of course. And she's already mad. She's like, what is your problem? And why are you speaking any nice things about Brooke?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. You're not going to backslide on liking Brooke. I'm like, do you hear yourself? You sound crazy. Like, this lady, Brooke, that you're being so rude to, actually helped raise you. But cool.
Yeah, she's too much. She wants details. She is all wound up.
Oh, she ain't having it. And of course, Thomas doesn't say anything. So once again, I'm disappointed because, Thomas, what are you doing? I think it's so mean that he's not going to Brooke. Okay, you don't want to tell your dad? Fine. Go tell Brooke so at least she's not agonizing over what made her drink. Right? Like, that's so cruel. And they've said it in front of him. Even Hope said to Thomas, my mom just doesn't understand. Like, she's driving herself crazy trying to figure out what made her drink. I know Thomas has heard it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go on a tirade if we don't move on.
And you have 2 more days to tirade about it.
Now we head back to Carter's loft, and Grace is literally, like, losing it.
Yeah, super disgusted, spiraling.
And oh my God, this was so crazy. She looks at Carter and Grace looks at Carter and she goes, look at me in the eyes and tell me that you're worthy of my daughter. Because we both know you are not. I was like, oh.
And like at this point, Carter's like, he's getting like a little like, you can tell he wants to like get defensive because he kind of has angry face. He doesn't have like sad puppy face. He's kind of like, so we're sitting here like, oh crap, is he gonna like go full teenager and say, I love your daughter, I'm running away with her? Like, I wasn't sure for a second.
Right? Yeah.
But eventually Carter tells Paris he agrees with Grace and she needs to move on.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? Your mom's right. And she was like, excuse me? Like her head was about to explode.
Yeah, she looks so sad.
Because he's like, look, your mom's not wrong. If we choose to stay together, it is going to ruin your life. Like, you're going to lose your job. I'm going to lose my job. He didn't say these words, but this is what he means, right? Like, you're going to lose everything. So if Zende proposes, you should say yes. And Paris is just standing there, like, in shock. She's like, what? Yeah. Yeah. She's just looking at him like, you two have lost your mind. Like, how dare you? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to go on a little rant right now because I just feel like very rude. Like, okay, you don't want me to be with Carter. I hear you, but you will not tell me who I am going to marry. Like, you need to stop now.
It's not a one or the other thing.
Right. All right, in Paris's defense, if I was Paris, I'd be very agitated at this. I'd be like, did you forget I'm a grown-up? But on Grace's side, I totally see where she's coming from because Carter is not good for her. Like, they are gonna destroy each other's lives. She's not wrong. Because how many times do you think the Forresters are gonna forgive Carter?
All right.
Like, let's be real. How many times?
Let's be honest.
I was shocked Ridge forgave him the first time.
But he still brings it up. Like, he fully hasn't because he'll still make little snide comments.
True. If Zende proposes, say yes, be his wife. And then that's it. That's the last line.
Yeah, and then it just was like flashing on everyone. Either it was being sad or they were hugging. Like, it was a little montage of sad hugs. And that was Monday. All right.
Yep. Moving on to Tuesday.
Well, Tuesday, March 15th.
The show opens at Steffi's. And
the show opens at Steffi.
Yeah, at Steffi's house. And then there's like a big sigh. Ridge he's bringing her coffee to wake her up, is what I mean.
Yeah, he rolls up bedside with the cup of coffee. She's like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. I wake up like this.
Yeah, and she's like, the grandbabies always wake me up. And then again, just so you guys didn't know yet, they let us know Ridge is sleeping in the guest house. Okay? Then downstairs, Steffi is talking to Thomas on the phone. And she's saying, oh, guess what? Dad's still here. He's upstairs with Mom.
And like kind of, and Thomas asks her, like, are you trying to insinuate that they spent the night together? She's like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he brought her coffee. That's what I'm saying. Steffi woke up and chose violence. Like,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to head over. I'm sorry, but this cracked me up. We're going to head to El Giardino. And Sheila's basically harassing Deacon.
Yeah, she like pops in and startles him. He's like, what the hell?
Yeah, she's just totally harassing him in any way possible.
But like in a weird way, because she's like flirting with him and being like suggestive, but then also telling him like, oh, rev your engine, da da da, like practice for Brooke. And even Deacon says like, wow, you just hit on me like 3 times.
Yeah, he was like, wow, it's a record 3 times in a row. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to apologize in advance. I was told by James and Tammy that she grabbed Deacon's butt. And I feel like I must have had a fever dream because I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, no.
How did I miss that? I
don't remember it either.
Because they said his face was like shocked, and they were wondering if it was like ad-libbed, like if he didn't know she was going to do that. I don't know. But I missed it. So obviously I need to pay better attention when I'm watching, apparently.
Well, sometimes I look down because I'm writing something and then I don't see things.
You're trying to do your notes. We're trying to do our notes, people, okay?
Because I can't remember what happened. Jeez. But yeah, it was weird.
On and on about how he should take advantage of the situation and he should basically just go hound Brooke. Like, just go hound her until she gives in.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work.
No.
Now we had DeForester, and this is where Hope wants to have a talk with Thomas. And I thought, like, I really thought, oh, yay. He's going to talk to her, right? And he's not going to be able to handle the hauntedness. And he's going to say something. If anyone can get him to say something, it's Hope.
Yeah,
nope, and I was wrong.
Yeah, and she was even using like her I'm about to cry voice, like it was very like this. And you saw that she was like poking at the ghosts. They were being summoned. Like they were rising. The light started to flicker, but then he squashes it and is like, I'm happy about this. Your mom messed up. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Yeah, I was shocked too that he was kind of being mean and kind of getting in her face a little bit, because at first it looked like he felt bad, because the thing that really got him was Hope said, you do know that if my mom was not drinking, none of this would have happened. And he was like, ooh. You can tell he was like, oh God.
Yeah, that's when the lights were flickering and the candle mysteriously blew out.
Mm-hmm. But then you're right, he changed like that. And he was like, you know what? My dad's happy. They're split up. Okay. It's just the way it is. All right. And we have to learn to live with that. And I'm like, geez.
Yeah, Steffi would have been real proud.
Mm-hmm. Very. And then he takes off. Cause he can only, handle so much.
Yeah.
Like if Hope's even mean. I wish Hope was meaner. Like sometimes when Steffi talks crazy to Hope, I'm wishing so hard that she would just go off on Steffi.
All
right, there's a little scene between Taylor, Steffi, and Ridge where Steffi is just going on and on about how she's so happy they're back together, and they even say like, I think it was Taylor. It's like, don't make assumptions. Okay. Like your dad's going through a whole bunch. This is a lot. And we're not saying we're back together. And she's like, yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Like, you know how Steffi is.
It was just like, it's like, come on, Steffi. You really think your mom wants to wake up to Ridge crying about his ex every day? Like, oh, so much fun.
Yeah. Well,
this is lovely. First thing in the morning, like, yeah, he brought me a cup of coffee, but that was to make sure I was alert enough to listen to him whine about his ex. Yay.
True. But you know what? That actually, now that you said it, that doesn't really bother Steffi. She's perfectly fine with being someone's second. Burn.
Oh, you woke up and chose violence, ma'am.
I'm having a day today. I'm going to tell you. I'm having a day. Okay, I'm mad because my diffuser decided to just break and pour water everywhere. And I'm mad about it.
It happens.
All right, now, this is when I got really angry. So we go to Forrester. Ridge walks in, and Hope's there waiting for him.
Yeah, she ambushed him.
And
because Thomas is like, get over it. I got to go. I'm not dealing with this. So he leaves, but Hope lingers in the office.
Yeah, Hope's like, well, I'm going to wait for Ridge.
Me.
But Hope is like, please don't give up on my mom. She wasn't mean, but she did kind of say, like, I can't believe you're doing this. Like, I know that you love my mom. Like, you're still married to her. And two wrongs don't make a right. I was like, uh-huh. And right when she said it, Steffi walks in. I'm like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Quit. You just quit it. You quit it right now. You leave my dad alone. Like if Hope is abusing him or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, Steffi's like, do not brainwash my father. Blondie, back up.
Oh, like you do?
There's only so much room for the wash.
And every single thing that Hope tried to say, Steffi had some kind of smart comment.
Well, I mean, their reasons for wanting their parents together are kind of the same. So it's like, oh, if you say it's because she's going to love him the rest of her life, well, so is she.
Right.
Oh, you're going to say because they have kids together? So does she. Oh, because they've been married? Well, so has she. So, yeah.
And she said some mean things. You know that situation where I can talk about my mom, but you can't. Like if someone else starts talking about my mom, I'm going to be pissed. But I can say something about, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I can talk shit about Chelsea, but nobody else better freaking talk shit about Chelsea, okay?
No, you can't.
So like it's one of those situations, I think. That's why I was wishing that Hope would just go off on her, because she said really mean things. To like, do not let her back in. Do you understand, Dad? Okay, you know what, Hope? My dad is finally remembering what it's like to be with someone he can actually rely on and trust. Oh my God, don't talk about my mama. All right, we got to take this outside.
Right.
I just didn't like how mean Steffi was being. Hope didn't do it. Jesus. Then Sheila almost gets caught.
Ugh. She's starting. Ugh.
Is she not? She's going to tell on herself.
Well, yeah, because she starts raging about Brooke and starts saying how happy she is for Taylor. And Deacon's like, what? What are you talking about? Like, and she starts getting loud because he isn't like fully on her page. So she starts getting loud. And lucky for Deacon, his coworker came and rescued him.
Right? Because she's like, look, you have to take advantage of this. And he's like, what do you want me to do?
You're like, a second ago, you were trying to get me to sleep with you. Like,
he's like, she loves Ridge. Like, I can't change that. He's like, what? So then when he walks off, she makes a phone call to Thomas.
Yeah, she had to haunt Thomas a little bit more, make sure he was still, trembling.
Yeah.
And just make sure that he hasn't told anybody, and this will save your family, and don't even think about it. Just putting a little more on there.
She's like, are we good? Are we good? I'm like, dang.
Yeah, she getting snappy.
That's how Tuesday ends.
Yep. Wednesday, March 16th.
The show opens at the cabin with Liam and Brooke. Well, Brooke is knocking at the door, and she comes in because, Liam's working from home.
Yeah.
And he can see that she's really upset, and she's like, oh, I'm just looking for Hope. She's my daughter, so she like has to listen to me.
Yeah, like literally she has no one to cry to because she doesn't have friends, and Hope's already off ambushing people, And, like, I mean, she has sisters, and technically she's not sleeping with any of their spouses right now, so she could be talking to them, but I don't know. I don't know where Katie and Donna are. I mean, we know Donna's babysitting. We know that. Like,
right? I loved this whole scene. I loved it because Liam was cracking me up. Because when Brooke said, I think I did something wrong. Like, I think I made a mistake. Because Liam's like, look, I'm here. Hope's not here right now, but I'm here. And I absolutely will listen to you. And she's like, oh, okay. And he gets her a cup of tea. He was really sweet, right?
mm-hmm.
And Liam's already adorable. Let's be real. Okay. So he brings her the tea, and I was just cracking up because she tells him what she did. And he was like, you did what? And his eyes got all big, and he was like, why?
Yeah, he went full startled hedgehog. Like, ah!
And I was like, why would you do that? And she's like, I don't know.
She's like, it wasn't a good idea, huh? And he's like, you think? She's like, I should probably, like, go try to talk to him or go get him, right? And he's like, yeah, like, right now. Here, go. Get out of here, lady. And he starts, like, pushing her out the door.
Yeah, he's like, go right now. What are you doing? Why'd you do that? And then the thing that made me sad, though, is normally Brooke's like, you're right. You know what? I don't know what I was thinking. I'm gonna fight, you know? But instead she was like, I don't know why I did it. And I was like, oh, this is too sad.
And it's kind of inappropriate. I mean, that's your son-in-law. You probably shouldn't really be talking to him about these things, but okay.
Well, it depends. I guess it depends on if he's like your son. Some people are close to their in-laws and some people aren't.
I also don't think that she should be talking to her kids. Like, the same as Steffi's out of line, I kind of think it's the parents are out of line too, involving their adult children in their love life so much.
Right? Although, you know, I'm nosy, right? So I was always in my parents' business. So.
No.
Well, you know what? That's how it is.
Okay. Brooke's got nobody. She's like, Liam pushes her out the door.
Yeah, he's like, you need to fix this, go. So she hugs him and she takes off.
Yeah.
And at Forrester, Hope is still telling Ridge that she doesn't understand why he's doing this and that she just wanted him to know that her mom really regrets it. She knows that she messed up, and if she could take it back, she would. And Steffi's standing there with an attitude, just shaking her head.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just raging, and Brooke, yeah. Ridge just says he loves Brooke, but it's over.
Pretty much. Now we head to El Giardino, and Sheila is still on the phone with Thomas.
Yeah, she's basically ending the call with him, so she isn't saying anything too crazy in this moment, but she gets off the phone, and then she turns, and Deacon's, like, right there. And he's like, scheming again, huh? And she's like, but it was so weird because she kind of instantly goes into, like, flirting with him again. Like, ha, that's silly, da-da-da. And then basically tells him to quit his job and go get Brooke.
She does. I'm like, how's he going to pay the bills?
Yeah, like, I don't know how she got out of that conversation with him, but magically between flirting and telling him to go after Brooke and quit his job, like, he didn't question her more about the call. So I'm assuming he must have just heard the very end of her call, which, like I said, she wasn't saying too much.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? He does. This is when he gets more, he's already irritated with her, but he gets really irritated because he's like, look, what do you want me to do? You want me to just go over there and caveman her? Like, she's like, yeah, carry her off? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, oh my gosh, she's in love with Ridge. Why do you not understand?
But he does end up taking off and going to Brooke's house.
Of course he does.
And he shows up to her house with treats. Yeah, they were having a moment. He flies over to Brooke's house magically, no traffic. Don't know how that happened. Whatever. Deacon's at Brooke's door. She's still just wandering around her living room being haunted. She didn't go run after, like, I guess Liam didn't push her hard enough because she didn't go run to Ridge in that moment. She just, I don't know, walked around her living room some more. And Deacon shows up and he starts telling, and she's like, oh, like, what'd you bring me? And he's like, oh, I just remember, like, I remember when we were that time in our lives when we were together, and I knew you liked these, and I knew you were probably sad, and blah, blah, blah. And she gives him the squint eyes, whatever. But Brooke tells him, she's like, you know what? I love Ridge. That's all I want is Ridge. I'm sorry. Like, no.
Yeah, she starts telling him, you're not going to believe what I did. Like, I made a big mistake. I really did. Like, I pushed them together. They have history. And so they have feelings for each other. She's like, what was I thinking? I love him. I love him. That's what she kept saying.
Yeah, she's just going through the waves of like, I have to let him go. I am terrible. And then she'll be like, but wait, I love him. I want to be with him. But I'm terrible. Like, yeah, she's just on her own little personal roller coaster right now.
Yeah. And side note, I think Deacon scores points because he remembered her favorite chocolate all the way from that many years ago. That's impressive.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I remember things about people. It's weird, but yes. We can be impressed.
Let's go to Forrester because it's Steffi's being mean to Hope. That's continuing. She says Steffi brings up Brooke's drinking, okay? And Hope is like, she's an alcoholic. Because Steffi says something like, well, she shouldn't have been drinking or something like that. And Hope's like, I'm sorry, excuse me, she's an alcoholic. And I just couldn't believe that. I'm sorry, Steffi, you're an addict. What?
Your mom's an alcoholic.
Are they trying to make us hate Steffi? Are they trying?
I don't know, but she is raging and she just smashes Hope. Hope is just crushed.
Yeah, and I was hoping Hope would curse her out because
I know she had on her thick eyeliner and everything. Like I thought Hope was gonna give it, but no.
Yeah, because the stuff she said. Okay, one thing that bothered me the most, or I don't know if the most, but it definitely bothered me. She looked at Hope and said, I am so sick of you and your mother using alcohol as an excuse. Number one, Hope doesn't do that if you're referring to herself. And number two, oh my gosh. Do you know how many times I heard Steffi say, well, remember, I was going through a hard time. And I was an addict. And I'm like, are you kidding? I cannot. Like, I can't believe she had a nerve to say that.
I mean, it's kind of like when Sally was being crazy with Flo, and we were kind of like, hey, Flo, remember you helped kidnap a baby?
Yeah. like, don't forget that.
Yeah, it was like one of those moments. All right, so we go still at Forrester. We go to the design office for Amanda's favoriteest scene.
Yeah, loved it.
And Thomas decides to call Sheila.
Again, guys. Again. After she just told him, do not call me. Oh, let me call her again. And this is when he's crying that he doesn't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah.
I was like, excuse me? Because she's like, don't call me. Why are you calling me? And he's like, I don't have anybody to talk to.
Yeah. Like, I'm starting to get weak. Enchant me some more. Put the curse back on me so that I don't care about this.
Because it is really bothering him. Because he's like, but my dad loves my mom. But he also loves Brooke. Like, it's really getting to him.
And, you guys, what do we have but a crack in the door? Steffi is listening to Thomas while he's talking to Sheila on the phone. Finally, someone overhears them. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, but it's the wrong someone. Because he could have told Steffi. You know what? He could have said, Steffi, come here. I got to tell you something. She's never going to tell anybody that. You know what? She's going to lock his ass up and be like, nah, I'm locking you in this cage.
Right. You're going back to the cage, Thomas. You're going back to the cage and bucket. Like,
yeah.
Get in the basement.
Yeah. And she hears that he's all upset.
Yeah. And he definitely can. Like, we don't know how long she's really been right there.
Right.
What exactly she heard, but enough to make her eyes widen and look startled.
Yeah.
So, and that.
Because Sheila's yelling at him. We take this to our graves. You understand? You understand, Thomas? And he's like, yes, I hear you. I hear you. And I'm like, oh, no. Because why Steffi? Why not Hope? Steffi's never going to tell anybody that because that's the opposite of what she wants. She wants her parents together. Why would she tell that?
I don't know.
I think Sheila made a mistake, if you want to know the truth. Because if I was Sheila, I would have blackmailed Thomas. I would have said, hey, Thomas, Steffi, here's why your parents are together. If you want that to, still happen, you're going to let me see Finn and the baby. Okay? If you don't, I'm going to go tell Ridge and ruin your happy little family.
Yeah, I guess she just has to, she just has to make sure that she has Thomas in her corner completely before she can start blackmailing him. Because right now he still seems wishy-washy. He might just tell on himself.
Yeah, you're right. She made a big mistake, I think, though.
Well, yeah, of course. Telling anyone anything ever is the mistake. If you don't want something to get out, you don't tell anyone. No one.
Yeah. And she let her emotions override her brain because she got so mad at Brooke. She completely lost her whole goal her whole goal is to see Finn. And she just went on this total other path just to destroy Brooke. And it's like, this is not going to help you get to Finn.
But that's why she's a crazy person. If she was a rational person who could, act appropriate in these moments, then she wouldn't be crazy.
True.
That's like, duh.
That's true. And, I mean, Brooke did yell at her, but for crying out loud, all she did was yell at her. Brooke doesn't have any say over what Steffi does. Yeah. This is crazy that she went this far over the edge, like hating Brooke that much over one little argument. And Steffi hates Brooke. Like if Brooke's opinion even matters. And this is crazy. Well, I guess that explains it because she is, right?
Yeah. And that is how Wednesday ends. It was a short week, you guys. I think basketball was happening, so we only got 3 days. Madness of Marches. And I'm giving it to Liam. Pushing Brooke out the door. That was hilarious.
It was hilarious. I missed it, but if Sheila grabbed Deacon's butt, that probably would be scene of the week. I missed it though, guys. I don't know what was going on. I usually pay good attention. I guess like Chelsea said, I must have been doing my notes. If that happened, that would be the scene of the week for me.
All right. Either a fever dream or something we know happened. Got it.
All right, guys. So that brings us to the end of the episode. Please get in touch with us. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. We are going to put our videos up soon. And I'd love, love, love if you would get in touch with us and give us your opinion about Quinn's outfit and glasses. Like the whole look from head to toe. I want to know because Tammy loved it. But I'd love to know what you guys think.
And if you have a business that you think is cool and you want us to talk about them, Send us the info.
Oh, yeah. And we'll shout you out. You can get in touch with us on all the socials at The Bold and Beautiful Podcast. We hope you guys have a great week. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.